Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Have you ever gone on vacation, especially a lengthy vacation where even though you were having a good time and you're really enjoying yourself, you just got to a point in your vacation where you began to long for home. You long for your own bed, your own refrigerator, your own recliner, or whatever the case may be, and you just begin to miss home. As much fun as you're having, it's just not like home. As they say, there's no place like home. Well, I believe that our soul oftentimes experiences things similar to this. In Psalm 90 and verse 1, it says, "Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations." This verse brings out a very important truth. It shows us that God is our home. God is our habitation, our dwelling place. And whenever we begin to drift from the Lord, whenever our soul begins to become attached to other things besides Him, whether it be money, pleasure, comfort, whatever it might be, whenever our soul begins to drift away from God, there oftentimes becomes this point where we say, you know what, these things are not satisfying anymore. I'm ready to go back home. I'm ready to go back to my Father, to my true home, the soul's true abode. And that's when our souls begin to long for something else. And maybe sometimes we don't even recognize that it's actually longing for God. We just feel that longing within, that emptiness within. And perhaps we've also experienced where we actually did turn our hearts back to the Lord, began to devote ourselves to Him again, and we said, finally my soul is at home again. Finally, my soul is at rest. And this ought to encourage us to realize that, you know what, God is our true abode. He is our true home. And our soul will not be satisfied anywhere else. It's only in God that our soul is truly satisfied. And so this ought to encourage us to all the time be intent on dwelling in God, letting our soul dwell in God. And we do this by loving the Lord, being devoted to the Lord, putting the Lord first above everything else, making Him our highest priority. This is done by worshiping the Lord, meditating on the Lord, praying to the Lord, putting the Lord first before us and ever before us. This is the way that we draw our hearts to the Lord. We begin to draw near to Him. And as our souls draw near to Him, we find ourselves in our true abode, in our true home. And so today I would encourage us all to go back home, to allow our soul to return back to home again. And we'll find when our souls go back home, that is to God Himself, our souls will find rest. And our souls will say, you know what, this is where I belong. This is what I've been longing for all this time, even though I may not have recognized it. So let's return to the Lord today. If we've been drifting, if we've allowed our soul to abide in other places, even though it might be pleasurable or enjoyable for a time, we can only rest in the Lord when we abide in Him. So let's turn back to the Lord and rest in Him once again. So these are some things we can reflect on and think about as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.